some of these people, they miss an appointment. You've got to follow up and follow up and follow up. So, you know what? I don't want you going out like this. You know what I mean? I've seen the end result, and I'm passionate about not letting you get there. Just like we'd be passionate if we saw a person walking into oncoming traffic, right? We'd all run out there and say, hey, what are you doing? Stop. We'd grab them, we'd tackle them if we'd had to. Even though we don't even know that person, we wouldn't want to see them die. And that's kind of how it is with these people on this phone. It's like that important. The best way to summarize it is we're going to put together a plan. You know, you're going to leave this office with a plan. That could be a 1-month plan, a 3-month plan, or a 3-year plan. But you're going to leave this office with a plan. Okay? So really, it's more of a planning session, you know, where we're going to sit down and figure out what your needs are, what your goals are, and we're going to map out a roadmap to get you there, okay? And really, what does the consultation consist of? Well, for the first 10 minutes, we're just kind of getting to know each other. We're talking, we're building rapport. You know, we're seeing what your needs are. The second half of the meeting, and these are only 30-minute consultations in most cases. The second half of the meeting, we're getting into some financials, and most of the time we are trying to get them in contact with our mortgage partner before the end of the meeting. Not all the time. Sometimes if we identify them as a person that needs a lot of work and a lot of help, we won't take them to the lender just yet. We'll just kind of coach them and mentor them on how to build their credit. But everybody leaves here with a plan, okay? So when somebody says, like, what are we going to do at this consultation? Say, well, we're going to help you put together a plan, okay? A plan to get into a home, to turn that dream of owning a home into a reality, all right? That's the in-office consultation. The listing consultation is a little bit different. It's also a planning session, but there's a different approach on a listing consultation because we're going to be talking about your existing real estate. We're going to be talking about your existing equitable position. And so, while it's also a planning session, it's one with a little more clarity because we already know what we own. We already know that home ownership is a great thing. It's almost more of a celebratory meeting because we're talking about how much equity you have in your home. It's similar to, I'd say, meeting with a financial professional about how much money is in your bank account. Us coming out to your home to tell you how much equity is in your home is kind of you meeting with your bank professional to find out how much money is in your 401k or your CD or whatever the case may be. So, but that's too, like, a lot of people feel like, well, putting together a plan, like, and that's the other part of it. Like, people are going to try to, like, people don't want to be sold, right? So people will try to put that thing off, And that's the other side of it. Like we talked a little bit last week about ROI, return on investment. They're making an investment of time. They're spending 30 minutes to get here, sitting in traffic. They're going to spend 30 to 45 minutes here. They're going to take another 30 minutes to get back home. They're going to invest in gas. They're going to invest in wear and tear on their vehicle. And that investment of time, gas, wear and tear, has a tremendous return, okay? And that's the thing, like that's the biggest difference. Like right now, there's a lot of these iBuyers, like Zillow Instant Offers, Open Door, and they're trying to replace, the realtor or the real estate professional with an app, right? Oh, you don't need a realtor, you just need this app, okay? The reason that they've been incredibly unsuccessful, I mean, they've taken a certain amount of business, but it's a very small percentage, is because the majority of people still need a plan. They need a consultant in that plan. I mean, we're not talking about going to the store to buy a bag of chips. You know what I mean? We're buying a house. There's a lot of elements. There's a lot of complications. And what you're going to notice is most people have like a ton of fears, a ton of, preconceived notions, a ton of things that like are holding them back from making that a reality. And these are homeowners, these are also like renters, these are all kinds of people. They're just kind of like stuck in this like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it kind of phase. And so that's why the consultation is so important. And that's why, like, when people say, well, what are we going to do with this consultation is, well, we're going to sit down and figure out exactly where you want to go. And then we're going to map out a plan on how to get you there. And so that's about as simply put for a person like wanting to come, like wondering what we're coming in for a consultation. It's a planning session. It really is. And there's a tremendous ROI associated with this planning session. And so and that's why some people, well, I'm on the other side of town. It's gonna take me 45 minutes to get there. So you know what? It's gonna be a tremendous return on your investment of time. And you kind of want to elevate the importance of it too. Like some people like, well, you know what? I'm wondering why people aren't showing up. How come, I'm setting these appointments, but people don't actually come in. Did they really understand the importance of what they were getting? Did they really see the value in what they were receiving from us? Or do they think they were just going to show up to get sold something, Because if they think they were just showing up to get sold something, they're probably not going to show up. But if they think they're coming over here because they're going to like really benefit from this, they're going to make some money, their family is going to be taken care of, their kids are going to have a college savings now because of this 2-hour investment of their time. That's what you want to correlate it with, especially with the renter, because a renter is literally throwing their money away. And I've seen the end result. I've seen the end result of a person that has rented their entire life and dies with nothing as a burden to their family and the people that they love. Literally, they die and they don't even have the money to bury themselves. That's a person that's rented their whole life. Versus a person that has owned, they die and they leave wealth and money and savings to their children and to their loved ones. What do we want to be, And that's why we've got to be passionate about it, because it's life or death that we're talking about here. And that's why you'll see like some of these people, they miss an appointment. You've got to follow up and follow up and follow up. So you know what? I don't want you going out like this. You know what I mean? I've seen the end result and I'm passionate about not letting you get there. Just like we'd be passionate if we saw a person walking into oncoming traffic, right? We'd all run out there and say, hey, what are you doing? Stop. We'd grab them, we'd tackle them if we'd had to. Even though we don't even know that person, we wouldn't want to see them die. And that's kind of how it is with these people on this phone. It's like that important, And you want to think about your own personal relationships. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's somebody close to you that ended up at the end of their life with no savings, And you don't want that for other people. Also think about other people that actually ended up at the end of their life with tons of real estate investment and died with wealth and affluence and as a benefit to their friends and family and children, So that's why it's so important. Like that consultation is so important. And it's not simply about the real estate process. Like that's the biggest part of it, but it's also about like their life, I mean, we've had people come in and we're trying to get them jobs. We're trying to get them, connected with different organizations that are going to help them pursue their goals. I mean, I've had people come in here, I'm inviting them to church. I'm literally, it's not just about the home buying process. That's the biggest piece. And that's what we're here for. But there's a ton of other ways that we add value to them in those consultations too. So, but just someone to ask you, like, what do we do at this consultation? It's a planning session, okay? It's a planning session where you come in here with the goal of being a homeowner and you leave with a detailed map of how to get there, period. Okay? That's simple.